couple of weeks, it's like every record has been either broken, tied. It's crazy.
Do you like that style of basketball, Marv? Do you like it?
Well, I think that some people who are not three-point shooters should not take threes. At times, it's very, very exciting, particularly when it's a team like the Golden State Warriors. But I think it gives the wrong impression even to kids in the schoolyard where the fundamentals are ignored and, firing up three-point shots. It looks like, one of the McDonald's high school all-star games where guys are just intent on firing shots up. So I think there are some people who should not shoot threes, but I know coaches feel particularly with, not that it's a deep analytics because, 3 equals more than 2, but that's what the philosophy is, to fire away. And, a guy like James Harden, who should shoot threes, will continue to shoot threes, even though he's 1 for 17.
No.
I mean, to me, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know, and yet he still has a string of 30-point performances, Marv.
I mean, he's a tremendous player. There's no question what he does. I don't think we've ever seen before the way he handles the ball. But the rules are different now. And certainly the officiating is different in terms of putting hands on people and hand checking, and it's really just open things up. But I remember Steve Kerr would tell me, and he was a guy who would come off the bench and still, as he mentions almost every day, holds the highest three-point percentage in the history of the NBA. But he didn't shoot as many threes, but he would say when he was with the Bulls or San Antonio, if he'd missed the first couple of shots, he would stop shooting. But he was in a different position, and the three did not have the value that it has today.
No, I know, and obviously Marv Albert here in the Honda Insider Report on the Rich Eisen Show, that we're in an analytics-driven world across all sports. Daryl Morey, who's been on our show several times, is obviously a leader in that department, calling James Harden in the conversation for greatest offensive player of all time for somebody who's seen a ton of basketball like you, Marvin, scores all over the place. Would you agree with that assessment?
No. He's a great offensive player, but I think it's so difficult to compare eras because if there were some of the players in the earlier years who played in this particular time, their stats would be different. And even in recent times, I don't think he surpasses Kobe Bryant, or you go back to Kareem. I mean, even Kevin Durant would be in the conversation. There are so many people. I don't necessarily agree with that. Although Harden, people forget, even though he shoots, he's high volume, as they like to say. He averages 8 assists a game, and that's primarily because he had a guy who's now injured, Clint Capella, who he could lob. They were very effective, on pick and rolls. But he's a high assist guy, too. But, no, I don't think you could say he's the greatest ever. There are so many other people that, you would also put right there. And he would not be the top guy as far as I'm concerned. Although, again, you can put the word great offensive player, but not the greatest.
So, I mean, it's interesting how you say that Kerr would tell you that if he missed his first couple threes, he wouldn't shoot anymore. Now, obviously, as you point out, we're in the day and age where you're encouraged to shoot as many threes as possible, because if it is, you take a look at the numbers of what a so-called high percentage two-point shot is. If it's close to the three-point shot, your ability to make it, you might as well take the three.
Might as well step back. Yeah,
right.
Coaches always tell the players, why are you standing, inches from the line? But last night was an example of that. You have Oklahoma City and the Los Angeles Lakers, two of the worst three-point shooting teams in the NBA, yet they were on fire early, and it continued. It was so unusual to see that type of game, and I thought the Lakers particularly really played well. I mean, they were down by 17. Obviously, LeBron is out. Rondo is out. They're trying to find themselves. They've had some bad losses recently to Cleveland and New York. So what they did in a tough place to play, Oklahoma City, was really very impressive. We'll see, what that leads to, particularly without LeBron for, who knows how many games. I know they say he'll be clear to practice next week, but they now have games at Houston and then our game Monday night against Golden State. So that's a very tough schedule.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.